All right, we good.
Hit me up. Okay.
I'll send it to you right now.
Yes, please. Hello, everyone. I don't know if people are, here we go, jumping in from having watched the other streams we had because we had some technical difficulties. We are back. We are back. I'm just letting people know we are back. Thank you for your patience. You have not missed anything, guys. If you were tuning in on another stream, you have not missed anything. No fighters have weighed in since our little blip there, but we are back. We are back still with 5 fighters to go. Still waiting on Paulo Costa. I know that's why all of you delinquents are hanging around. I actually, sorry guys, I was fixing something on our website. Let me get that in there. Yes, guys, this happens. Listen, this happens. This is live television or live YouTubery is probably a more accurate description, but it happens. But I believe we have now got it sorted out. Jose is a veteran of the
We are
game.
100% sorted out.
We are all good in the hood. All good in the hood of Jersey City. Excuse me, Jersey City, New Jersey.
The bug has been rectified. So
The
this will
bug
be
has
the
been
stream moving forward.
squashed. Well done. Thank you, Jose. Everyone say thank you, Jose, guys, for fixing this stuff. It's not easy. He's doing this all on the fly while juggling, maybe 24 other things. So thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Yeah. Even MMA Fighting's getting 10-7. 10-7 by the internet, brother. Yeah, it is. Big Daddy Crave. I was concerned Strickland got to AK. Not yet, guys. Not yet. Listen, that I'm sure that, he's targeted all of Canada now recently. I'm not just me. S. Lee 2 asking, did everyone else besides Costa weigh in already? No, sir. We're also weighing. We're also waiting on Jailton Almeida, who has to make heavyweight, so I would not expect any drama there. People who have missed previously, we're also waiting on Grant Dawson and Joselyne Edwards, and we are waiting on Andre Lima, who is making his second UFC appearance. So I don't know. Don't know about his history of making weight prior to the UFC, but no reason to assume. Excuse me, that's 4 people left, guys. 4 people left. Paulo Costa, Grant Dawson, Joselyne Edwards, Andre Lima. Everyone else has successfully made weight, with really only, I think, Phil Rowe needing the 1 pound allowance because we have a very eager and accommodating weigh-in check guy. He's going up real quick. The scale is still seems to be moving when he by the time he does his reading. But hey, I'm not part of that commission team. I don't know the right way to do it. I've never done it. If he says these people are making weight,
check the screen, AK.
There you go, guys. Yep, I see it. There's your little graphic, guys. Very, very beautiful high-tech graphic provided by yours truly. So soak it in. Soak it in. Soak in the classy use of Times New Roman, size 14, bolded font. Doesn't get better than that, folks. That's why if you're wondering where your tax dollars are going, it's going to making quality MMA fighting graphics. I do want to talk about the main event, of course. I do want to talk about Strickland versus Costa. Well, I don't want to talk about Strickland versus Costa until it's official, frankly. Paulo Costa, always entertaining to watch, but again, very unpredictable. He probably one of the number 1 examples of Jose's rule.
We got movement.
A fight is not official until they're actually in the cage and throwing fists. We have some movement. Michael Bass, more weigh-in judges like this, please. Yeah, people listen. People like it. People like when the guy just goes up there and bangs it home. I mean, if they're close enough, they're close enough, right? That's how it works when you're doing like smokers, right? They just kind of size 2 guys up. Like, you guys are close enough. Get in the cage. So that's how the biggest combat sports organization in the world should work as well, I feel.
All right, next athlete to weigh in this morning, competing in a prelim live on ESPN2, the number 7 ranked UFC heavyweight contender, Jailton Almeida.
Here's Jailton again. Not really a heavyweight, so not expecting an issue here.
weight division. 241, the official weight for Jailton Almeida.
241 for Jailton Almeida. The poor weigh-in guy, he's pretty much, like I said, you know, when you know the people's weights outside of heavyweight, he's just been pushing it like way, like right to the spot ahead. He couldn't do that with Jailton because Jailton's such a light heavyweight, not a light heavyweight, a less heavy heavyweight. And so he actually had to do a little bit of adjusting for once. I don't blame him. A little confusion there, but 241 for Jailton Almeida, again, really just a light heavyweight who is not cutting weight. And that fight with Alexandr Romanov is official. So now we are just waiting on Paulo Costa, Joselyne Edwards, and Andre Lima. Love this guy's hat, though, I will say. I don't know how you guys feel about his weigh-in method, but his hat, I think, indisputably pretty nice. Let's update this. And we'll get a new graph for you guys shortly. I do want to see if anyone else weighs in soon. Let me make that note again. 1 second. All right, so I'm letting you all know Islam and Dustin have made it, so don't have to worry about that. A little bit of drama with Paulo Costa, you know, still yet to weigh in, but otherwise, the card has a 12-fight card has lined up pretty nicely. So several of the matchups are official. This card hits some bumps here and there. I've mentioned earlier that we had.
We're currently showing we're showing the replays again of the Manning
Yes, thank you, Jose. There you go, guys. You can see here's video evidence of Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev, and Sean Strickland making weight. Right, I was saying earlier, Andre Lima has had 2 opponent changes. He was originally to fight Hyun Sung Park. It's easier to say Park Hyun Sung. Park was replaced by Nyamjargal Tumendumbarel. He could not participate due to visa issues reportedly, and now Mitch Raposo. So Lima getting his third replacement opponent. Excuse me, math is hard. So there we go, a little bit of drama there. We had some fights that were lined up for here. Alexander Volkov was going to fight Jailton, I believe, originally, and then Volkov got moved to another card. Michelle Watterson, Gomez, Jillian Robertson, that was going to happen here. That got moved. Joshua Van had a couple of fights lined up. Him and Sumit Erigi, him and Tatsuro Taira. That instead, him and Taira were then reassigned to different opponents on a different card. So, yes, the original lineup for 302 had some fights. Roman Dolidze and Anthony Hernandez were supposed to fight. Hernandez got a hand injury. We've had some changes. We've had some switch ups, but overall, I think a pretty decent card. Out of 10, guys. Out of 10, give us your share your thoughts in the comments of how you would rate this card on paper. You know, not necessarily like, oh, it has a potential, like everything's just going to turn out great. Of course, it's 10 out of 10 card.
Here we go.
Oh, never mind.
In the lightweight division, Grant KGD Dawson.
Grant Dawson, big guy, big lightweight. He was a massive featherweight, still a big lightweight. Let's see how he does here.
155, the official weight for Grant Dawson.
155. 155 for Grant Dawson. His fight with Joe Solecki is official. So now just waiting on Joselyne Edwards, Andre Lima. That's it. Oh, and Paul. Oh, and of course Paulo Costa. How could I forget? Let me update this graphic for you guys.
I had a hard time sleeping.
All right, just fired that off to Jose. You guys will see an updated graphic soon enough. Again, all right. Let me see some numbers here. First, Bradley rates the card in 8. I agree. Travis Wilson says 7. I think that's about it. Michael Bass, gymnastics course 7.8. Nice. Nice. I like the accuracy. Ty going with a 6. Ouch. Ty, why a 6? Ty, if you could share your thoughts on why this card's a 6. I think that's a little harsh. I'm definitely in the high 7 range. Yeah, Corey Swolberg, 7.5/8. I agree. C-Ray also going below 7, 6.5. Damn. Spencer Legrand, 8.1. Just nudging it over the 8 because of how big the main event is. Colostrum saying, this guy's letting everybody make weight. He don't care. Yeah, they're close enough. You know, the spirit of weigh-ins is really to make sure fighters don't have like a crazy advantage over each other, right? So it's really just extreme weight cutting that has made us care so much about the 0.1, the 0.2, the 0.3, or people missing weight by 1 pound or not, because it definitely makes a difference. That 1 pound, 1.5 pounds, and the fighters always say that's the toughest one to get off. So when you're talking about the extreme weight cutting that happens in MMA, of course it matters. But you know, you like to think that everyone's the same weight. Thank you, Jose. There you go, guys. There's your on-screen graphic. As we said, just waiting on 2 names to fighters lower on the card. Oh, excuse me, and Paulo Costa. I keep forgetting Paulo Costa. I think in my mind, I'm trying to just will it into him making weight without any incident. Nuno Gomez, 7.45. Dan, do you think Jed rates the card as a 4? No, I think he'll. I'll predict it right now. He'll give this one Michelin star. I think he'll say, you know, if you have.
Speaking of Jed, did you get to watch the Bizarro links from a couple weeks ago?
I did not.
Oh, if you missed out, it was a good time.
What did I miss?
You're gonna have to go watch it. Tell you what, it was one of the best.
I only have so many hours in the day.
It was you don't want to miss that one. It was a good time.
You said,
if anything,
last week.
So last week, on Between the Links, it became Bizarro Links. And I didn't coin that phrase. That was fans coined it. The comment section, the social media peeps. You know how important those are. Well, yeah, fully recommends going back and rewatching from the beginning.
There's only so many hours in the day, but I will do this. I have a lot of catching up to do. I still have to watch this X-Men cartoon everyone's talking about. Jose, do you approve? I think you approve. I've seen you tweeting excitedly about it, right? You're a fan.
We don't have enough time in the day to talk about how much.
I was about to say. I've opened up. Didn't you talk about the show on a podcast? Isn't there a podcast
I've done that 7 different podcasts about it.
About just the X-Men cartoon?
And then it's like dissolved into the X-Men, yeah.
Which one would you recommend? I know I saw you clip talking about it with Barstool Robbie.
I mean, those are my guys, like Robbie and Clem, my boys. So like,
would you recommend that one as the one?
I would recommend that one because I would like to support my friends. But like any of the like, you can just search like Jose X-Men on like podcast networks, and it's like, I think I did like 7 or 8 different podcasts in a 2-week span where people would message me like, "Hey man, could you come on and talk about X-Men?" Like, obviously I could do that.
I heard it's very good. I was sort of like not particularly interested.
It's unbelievable. About it, but like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We don't have.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. 10 out of 10. But
anyone who knows Jose,
it's technically season 6 because the original series was 5 seasons, so this picks up right where season 5 ended in '97.
Yeah.
So if you need a refresher, I'd go back and rewatch some of the old ones.
Yeah. Anyone who knows Jose, he's read everything, he's seen everything. I don't know, man. I heard you call something unbelievable, or at least something like.
No, it's unbelievable. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
They're setting up the next season. They're taking. We don't. Again, I don't. There's enough time in the day. Go watch the. I don't want this to dissolve into Jose just talking about the X-Men.
It can. There's a lot of time. We got a lot of time. Okay, no, yes, you're right. Let's keep it to fighting for now. Who do people have in the main event? People in the comments, shout out who you got in the main event, because I've seen a lot of people liking the vibes, the Dustin Poirier vibes. I personally think we're all buying into a narrative. We're all buying into our Dustin Poirier fandom maybe a little too much. I'm a big Islam guy as far as like, do I believe he's the best pound for pound fighter in the world? I think he is. Not to say there's not a path for victory for Poirier. It's pretty obvious what the path is. It doesn't involve jumping the ghillie. I'll say that much. So I think Islam takes care of business on Monday. Monday. On Monday, wouldn't that be a great time for fights to happen? I think Islam
Mhm.
takes care of business on Saturday. And again, that's not disrespect to Poirier. I just think Islam is that good. But I know a lot of people just saying like, listen, this is Poirier's last shot, and it feels like the right time. But there, as you will hear me say many times, I will say it again on the previous show. I'll probably write in my predictions. There are no fairy tales in MMA, guys. I'm sorry to say it. Robbie Lawler, Niko Price, maybe that was pretty fantastic. Other than that, gosh, we don't get a lot of endings the way we'd like to see them. And I know there's a lot of people out there who would love to see Poirier be able to notch undisputed champion on his resume forever. I just don't think that's going to happen. But Colostrum says Islam's going to drown Dustin. Yeah, I mean, listen, worst comes to worst, right? I don't know how Dustin stops that wrestling. Callum Lambert, Islam by flying armbar. Incredible. Mark Short, my brain says Islam, my heart says Dustin. Jamie Casey, don't be silly, jump the Gailey, let's go Dustin. No, people, do not jump the Gailey. That is not the answer here. That is not the answer here, please. JAMA, Nate Diaz fairy tale. It was a happy ending. I say ending, he's probably going to fight the UFC again someday. A happy conclusion to his his storied first run with the UFC, talking about Nate Diaz. But it didn't really, like, the way it unfolded was just so weird. He was supposed to fight Khamzat. We know the UFC wanted him to build Khamzat off of Nate. Khamzat just completely blowing weight. The top 3 fights in that card being reshuffled. I don't know if I'd call it a fairy tale. And again, also it's not over, but it is like point Diaz right now. Diaz has a leg up. He is winning the game right now. So I wouldn't quite call it a fairy tale ending, but that was a nice positive way for him to go out on his terms, go out for now at least. Nasmo, Poirier jumps the guillotine and gets Poirier jumps the guillotine and gets RNC'd by Islam. I mean, that is honestly what I think is going to happen if he jumps that gilly. I think Islam survives it, breaks out, goes to work from up top, eventually takes Dustin's back, and I think that's very much something we'd see. Daniel Moshka says that's what made Nate's finale so perfect. He was set up to fail, and he got his man. Yes, again, like I said, also it's not over. It's not over. There's a very good chance that he does come back. So that's why you can't quite call it a fairy tale, because I have a feeling he's not done cashing UFC checks. But sure, to his first run, you could write a movie. Though it would be a weird. See, here's the thing: why it's not a fairy tale. It'd be a weird fairy tale or a weird movie if the last act of the movie was building up like, oh my gosh, he has to fight this killer. He's going to get smashed. Because normally in the movie, they would at least fight that person and put on a valiant effort to beat the monster. Hamza being the monster in this case. Instead, it's just like, oh, no, he ends up not having to fight him. So that's not really the stuff that fairy tales are made of. I understand the point you guys are making. I just don't think it classifies quite as it landing in that category. But yes, nothing but positive vibes with Nate Diaz right now. Jamie Casey says, hold on, I gotta read this comment. This is a anime nerd thing. Jamie Casey says, remember how Poirier did against Benoit Saint-Denis? Give him that energy like a gosh darn spirit bomb. If that were a thing, then Dustin Poirier would have a very good chance, because there is a large fan base that is, like I said, this in the media and the fans wanting to believe that as far as narratives go, it could not get better than Poirier winning, finally becoming undisputed champion at the stage of his career. I actually want to read a statistic here. Poirier would, I believe, break the record for most fights before becoming undisputed champion. This is his 30 UFC fight. Excuse me. This is his 32nd UFC fight. 32nd, am I right? 30th. Excuse me, 31st. His 31st. I can't do math. His 31st UFC fight. The record is held by Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping was 26 fights into his UFC career before he beat Luke Rockhold in their rematch to become middleweight champion, as I'm sure we all remember. So Poirier would clear that by far. I mean, it's not even close. Over 30 fights before becoming champion. It's possible, and there's a reason these things don't happen. Like, that window is short, and I don't know if Poirier's window has closed. I guess as long as you get that shot, it's impossible to say if the window's closed. But it is really, really difficult to do. And again, I wouldn't bet on it. Let me do a little DraftKings research here, guys. DraftKings for you. I always say, people, the only way to win gambling in MMA is to never gamble in MMA. But if you must, don't forget to use DraftKings promo code TheMMA Hour, all one word. So let's look at some odds here, guys. Do some odds talk. I know you junkies love this stuff. Full confession, I don't gamble right now. I set a $50 limit at the beginning of the year, and hopefully, assuming I'm going to win a few cards early, build up my DraftKings bankroll. I was up by March. Terrible bets.
Oh.
Never look at my picks. Don't know what I'm doing.
We got movement.
What do we got, Jose? Here we go.
All right, next fighter set to weigh in, competing in the first fight of the night in the flyweight division, Andre Lima.
Andre Lima shouldn't have trouble making weight, considering he had a chunk. Igor Severino took a chunk out of him last time, but.
Lima, 130.
130 pounds, the official weight for Andre Lima, 4 pounds over the flyweight limit.
Whoa. Okay, that's not good.
What were you saying, Nick?
And the weigh-in man did his job, guys. I was saying nothing. I was saying Andre Lima just missed weight by 4 pounds. Oh, God. That's... Just got to tweet that. That is really unfortunate. If we want to make excuses for him, he had a lot of opponent switches. I don't know if that threw off his camp. That's really no excuse, though. I mean, his opponent made weight. Mitch made weight on pretty short notice. I think like less than 2 weeks' notice. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, guys. I'm just finding some messages from work. 4 pound miss for Andre Lima. That was a flyweight bout. He came in 130, so including the 1 pound limit. We should have known there was trouble when our weigh-in man here was taking extra care. Because again, if it was near 135, he would have just gone up, announced the weight 135 or 136. He's definitely not doing halves. I don't think there's enough time in the day for that. I don't think he particularly cares. But that's a miss, guys. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a weigh-in expert to know that's a miss. I feel very stupid now for joking about him getting bitten and easily making weight, because he certainly did not easily make weight. Hopefully Andre Lima's okay. Sometimes these things can be attributed to illness. I know, why am I making excuses for this guy? I'm just saying, let's not assume mischief here. Let's not assume gaming the system. That's a pretty bad miss. I would assume something has to be off with Andre Lima. But and hopefully he's okay.
He didn't like struggle to get on. He wasn't limping. He just looked. I think he might have just mistimed it or something happened, because he didn't look wiped.
Well, that tells us that he probably gave up on making weight some time ago and has already been sipping on bottled waters for the last hour or so. So again, I hope he's okay. Maybe a very good chance. I will say this now. I don't know anything. Jose hasn't said anything. I don't have any inside information. I would be very surprised if this fight still goes through. Either if his opponent doesn't accept the fight, or if we find out Saturday morning that the weight miss was due to an illness. So just very bad juju surrounding this whole matchup. Like I said, Lima was getting his third replacement opponent in Mitch, and now the fight might just be off altogether, and for at no fault of Raposo's. So just keep an eye on that one, guys. We will update you as soon as possible. Keep an eye on MMAfighting.com and all that. As you know, we got you covered. Damn, sorry, I'm reeling, guys. I didn't expect that. I had said Grant Dawson. I thought maybe some drama. I had said Joselyne Edwards, again, who has missed several times. But did not expect Andre Lima to be the one. It's kind of shaken me. Paulo Costa, again, I thought there could be drama. There we go. How's everyone doing? Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? This is what I want people to
Next
know.
fighter to weigh in, competing
Here we
in the
go.
women's
Here we go.
bantamweight division, Joselyne Edwards.
I don't know what to expect now, guys. Here comes Joselyne Edwards.
$137.
137, the official weight for Joselyne Edwards. That was 1 pound over the bantamweight division.
137 for Joselyne Edwards.
Oh, wait,
This is
I
the
think she's gonna
third
try. I think
time.
she's gonna try to make again.
Okay. All right. Let me not tweet this out then. Third time Joselyne Edwards has missed at the scale. Again, it's not an official miss yet. Let's see if
Here
they're
it
going to bring
comes.
out the box of redemption. I'm saying redemption because I assume she's going to make it. Here we go. Yeah, I see people saying Joselyne Edwards is tall. Yeah, she's tall. I mean, really, she probably should comfortably fighting at comfortably be fighting at 145, which she has once or twice. She's fought at featherweight, but again, it's not a real division in the UFC. I don't think they encourage their fighters to book featherweight fights, and they tell them to do that. Actually, with their women fighters. So I guess they really have no choice but to make 135, and that's the situation Joselyne Edwards is in. So here's the box. She did not look happy stepping onto the scale. You can tell. It's, as Jose said, Lima didn't seem to care, but Edwards was struggling.
136.
136, the official weight for Joselyne Edwards.
Wow.
Woo!
There you go.
136 for Joselyne Edwards. Thank you, New Jersey weigh-in, man. I'm telling you right now, if this was a digital scale, I do not think she's making that, but it don't matter. It's not a digital scale. It's a normal scale and a human man. And he said Joselyne Edwards made it 136. Her fight with Ailin Perez is official. Forget what I said about her missing weight again, because she didn't. Rob McKenzie hanging on that frame. Rob, how dare you? We don't know. We could not see her elbows. We don't know where her elbows were touching in the box. I will say nothing. I will say I don't think it was. This is more of a favorable scale reading, I think. But 136 for Joselyne Edwards.
I bet it does crazy again.
Let's get some water in this woman ASAP, please. She definitely looks like she needs to get some food, rehydrate. And now, everyone, we are just waiting on Mr. Paulo Costa. So let me do a little bit of updating of our doc here as we wait for the man of the hour. The one who I think... Oh, let's see. Let's let Joselyne have her moment here. The man of the hour, Paulo Costa, is still to come. The person who I think, if you were to ask everyone who's most likely to weigh in last, they would have said either Joselyne Edwards or Paulo Costa, or maybe Grant Dawson. That's probably would have been everyone's guess. And if you said Paulo Costa, you are correct. Let me just update something here for you guys. And a fresh graphic for you all, and give a little rundown here. And hopefully our rundown will be our little rundown, rain dance, and coax Paulo Costa to come out to the scale. But he has plenty of time, guys. It just turned 10:05 on the East Coast. Again, this card is taking place in New Jersey. Jose currently in Jersey City. The card taking place in Newark. And Paulo Costa has almost an entire hour still to show up. So
We got the replay.
not sure if we're
going,
going to get the most urgent... Thank you, Jose. We got our little replay on screen. You can see 3 of the top 4 fighters on this card, and I've just sent in a new graphic, so you guys will be able to see that later. Okay, let's get this guy. AJW BUUA asking Costa weight over. No, guys. We're still waiting on Costa. Savas Kub. Costa can't knock out middleweights. How's he going to knock out light heavyweights? Casuals. I don't know. That's a question. This isn't. Oh, I guess some people saying, is he going to go up? That is a very good. I will say, and again, I'm giving away a lot of stuff people will see on the preview show later today. Paulo Costa hasn't knocked anyone out in 6 years. And I know we view him as a fearsome knockout artist, which he still is. I mean, he rocked Robert Whittaker. He rocked Robert Whittaker. He hurt Luke Rockhold at times. I mean, that was a nasty fight. But he hasn't actually scored a knockout since knocking out Uriah Hall, TKO, July 2018. Now, I think you have to look at his level of competition. He fought Yoel Romero. Nobody knocks out Yoel.
How many times has he fought since then? Like, he's not the most
active. It's true. He's only fought 5 times since then.
Yeah.
No, he's not active. He fought Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero never gets knocked out. He got knocked out one time when he was a light heavyweight back in the day. He fought Israel Adesanya. We all know how that went. Marvin Vettori, again, one of the hardest chins in the entire planet. So if he had knocked out Marvin, it would have been a friggin' miracle. Luke Rockhold, I guess people probably see him as chinny, but again, that was just a nasty, weird fight. And Robert Whittaker, also tough to knock out, and he rocked him. So I don't know. I'll go to DraftKings, actually. I was talking about DraftKings before. Let's see. Costa by KO plus 350. I think that's right. I think they put it in just the right spot. So a little over 3-1 odds for Costa to win by KO. Strickland's hard to hit. I know he's had some highlight reel KO losses, but he is hard to hit. We all know this. And I don't know how Paulo Costa's going to figure him out. I would be stunned if he knocks out Sean Strickland. Again, has not knocked anyone out in a long time. Has not fought guys who are easy to knock out, but facts are facts. Just putting that out there for anyone who thinks that Costa could just, land a bomb on Strickland's chin. That's all it's going to take. Much easier said than done. Nuno wants to know, does the time difference between Sean and Costa weighing in matter? Sean is already drinking and eating, recovering. And at this time, Costa's still trying to lose weight. Is this time gap important? It can't hurt Sean Strickland at all, for sure. I think being able to rehydrate as soon as possible is great. But, I mean, an hour, 2 hours, I sincerely doubt we'd be able to know if it had any effects come fight night. But it's a question worth asking again. If you definitely want to rehydrate as soon as possible. UCEF, if Izzy couldn't knock out Sean Strickland, I doubt Costa can. Yeah, I agree. Again, it's very different guys, though. Different types of striking, different kind of power. So just because one person can't do something doesn't mean the other can't. All these Paulo Costa is a very, very, very different fighter from Israel Adesanya. It's a very, very different matchup from Strickland versus Izzy. But yes, I kind of see what you're saying. We are at 10:08. Guys, plenty of time to weigh in. Again, I saw a lot of Poirier. Who are your picks, guys? Since we're talking about it, and I think some people have already given their picks. But yeah, who do you like, guys, in the Strickland Costa matchup? Very fun matchup on paper. At least definitely as far as the pre-fight trash talk. Mileage may vary with both guys, but they talk a lot. They get people talking. That's just a fact. On our matchmaking show, the show I do with my best friend Mike Heck, we've had Strickland versus Costa thrown out there so many times. So kudos to the UFC and to Costa and his opponent for finally putting this one together. But Raymond Arnold, this is MMA. LOL. Costa by KO. Again, that's why you can't use logic when you're doing these things. Yes, logically, if Israel Adesanya couldn't KO Sean Strickland, how the hell is Paulo Costa going to do it? But this is MMA. MMA math, we joke about it all the time. It's not really a thing. You can't look at it that simply. I'm picking Strickland to win. Spoiler for the preview show later. I think Strickland wins a decision, maybe even a late knockout. I have no idea how Paulo Costa is going to figure him out. He is so tricky, and as everyone says, the first time they fight him or the first time they spar him, he beats everybody's ass. And that doesn't always play out in the cage, but we saw it with Izzy, man. Izzy had a lot of trouble figuring that out. DDP, listen, he may have won that fight, he had a lot of trouble figuring Strickland out, especially early on. I mean, the guy is he's a really good striker, and just there's not a lot of people who approach the game the way he does. So, Philly Chef 72, the odds, in my opinion, are silly. Can you comment on why Poirier is such a huge underdog? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Poirier currently plus 440 on DraftKings. Yes, that is a massive, massive number. Minus 600 for Makhachev, even bigger favorite. We saw the Habib fight, guys. We saw the Charles Oliveira fight. Like we've seen Poirier in title fights. It feels like he's just a notch below the best of the best of the best. He just got knocked out by Justin Gaethje. Like, there's no shame in losing to any of these guys. If you lost to Habib, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, hey, listen, get in line. A lot of people have lost those guys. But it does put kind of a little bit of a ceiling on the current version of Dustin Poirier. Makhachev and Habib are not a one-for-one comparison. Again, it's not MMA math. It's not a thing. But we know Islam's skill set. We know how good he is. He's on a nearly invincible. He may as well be undefeated. I know a lot of people want to bring up the Adriano Martins knockout. That's fine. It's there. It happens. Other than that, 25-1. It's hard to dispute that he's not the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Poirier really getting this title shot because of good timing. If we're being honest, there are more worthy contenders than him, and I'm happy to see him get it, but he's not more deserving than Arman Tsarukyan. I mean, Charles Oliveira was originally supposed to get a rematch with Islam, so you could say Charles is ahead of Dustin in the pecking order. Justin Gaethje knocked Poirier out. Poirier is really the third or fourth option here, and when that's the case, you're going to have the odds against you. So. Michael Bass says plus 440 is a lot. I'm still not taking it. Sure. Yeah. I don't know. People in the comments, how high would the odds have to be for you to throw $20 on 20 USD on Dustin Poirier? Let me know. Very curious to see what people say. So, someone said, I think Costa's doing an enema for the cut. Whatever works. Nuno says, don't forget Islam helped Khabib prepare fighting against Poirier. If someone knows how to face Dustin is Islam, and vice versa. Listen, we know Khabib's going to be in Islam's corner. That's a lot of powerful brains in that Islam corner. So it's really hard to pick Poirier. But this is MMA, guys. You never know. Paulo Costa's an underdog to Sean Strickland 2-1, guys, plus 205. So if you feel like Costa can land that big kibosh, then you may as well take the knockout bet, as I said earlier, plus 350. Don't gamble on MMA. Don't gamble on MMA. This is strictly for conversational purposes. I don't encourage people to gamble. DraftKings.com, promo code the MMA Hour. I don't encourage it. A lot of long odds in this main card. Michal Oleksiejczuk, is plus 240 underdog to Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland almost a 3-1 favorite. Wow. Not a lot of respect for Michal. Niko Price, the underdog in his rematch with Alex Morono, despite winning the first fight. Niko Price is plus 210. Plus 210 underdog. Again, he beat Morono by KO. That he did have the power of the weeds at the time, so I guess you have to factor that in. It does, as we all know, weed makes you faster, stronger, more alert, and maybe that's why he won the first fight with Alex Morono. Trying to see if there's anything else crazy here. Joe Solecki, big underdog to Grant Dawson, almost 4-1, plus 390. Mickey Gall, also big underdog to Bassil Hafez. That's interesting. Bassil has looked okay in the UFC so far. Really just one fight. Gave Jack Della Maddalena a hell of a time before dropping a split decision. He's a minus 395 favorite over Mickey Gall. Mickey's plus 310, as I said. Very interesting. Andre Lima, big favorite against Raposo. I don't know if that's going to become more or less with a massive weight miss, or if that fight's even going to happen, frankly. Brandon QFG, will the UFC fast track Cesar Almeida if he can beat Kopylov? He's facing a solid name pretty early in his career. I don't know if they fast track him. I'm not sure how they view him, but he is a guy who is up there in age. He spent most of he's made his name mostly in the kickboxing world, so there's a lot of wear and tear on there. It has to be a KO. It has to be like a big highlight reel KO. Then we'll start talking about it. But they have their eye on him for sure. You don't bring in a 36-year-old kickboxer unless you feel like he has some potential to be maybe a top 10 guy. So I won't say fast track, but let's see if he can get that knockout win, which is no guarantees, by the way. I think Roman Kopylov is really good. Let's see what else we got here. Rob McKenzie, odds on a Costa decision. Sorry, let me look that up for you. Sorry, I just saw that comment. Odds on Costa by decision. I'm going to bet are not far off from his straight up odds, which is plus 205. I am totally wrong. Again, don't gamble, and if you must, definitely don't listen to me about gambling. Costa by decision, plus 750. Plus 750. That's not a bad bet. That's really not a bad bet, if we're being honest.
There's a bunch.
Not that I encourage it. But.
There's a bunch of people scrambling around for something.
All right. We'll keep an eye on that. Thanks, Jose. I asked earlier what odds would Dustin Poirier have to be at for you guys to take it. Skilati says plus 800. BJJ Nerd, I think he's answering the question, says 10-1. So maybe the DraftKings odds aren't high enough. I don't know. I haven't seen the line movement. You guys, you got to talk to your Connor Burkeses and your Jed Mishues to get a better read on how much the line has moved. I would imagine it has moved. That Poirier, started off as less of an underdog, probably closer to plus. We might have a post on this, MMAfighting.com, actually. Let's go to the greatest website in the world, MMAfighting.com. You guys can hear me.
I hear Captain Eric in the back
we
yelling.
go.
I hear Captain Eric in the back yelling secret juice, so I'm assuming Paulo's on site.
We could have Paulo, Costa, and company on the
go.
way. Here we go.
All right, next athlete to the scale, our final to weigh in this morning, the other half of the middleweight co-main event, the number 7 ranked contender, Paulo Costa.
Secret juice.
185, the official weight for Paulo Costa.
185.
He's got it. He's got to get the donkey chain.
Promote that secret juice, Paulo. You made 185 championship weight.
All right, thank you all for coming out to the official weigh. We'll see you for the ceremonials at 5.
There you go, guys. We'll wrap in a second. Jose, I don't know if you want to hit them up the replay first, or if you need to, or if you want to get the heck out of there. I do want to show, do a rundown. Let me send you a graphic real quick. But yes, guys, that is the weigh-in. We had one miss. We had one near miss with Joselyne Edwards, but we had one actual miss.
Andre Lima and Mitch Raposo is on 30%.
30% fine. Fights on.
And
had
putting
me in
some
the
sauce
beginning.
on that. Sorry, I should. Yeah, I should have put the breaking news on there because before Guilherme Cruz told me he beat John Anik. That I apologize, Guy, if you're out there for not reading that one out. That yes, he told me moments before John Anik announced it that the fight was still going and it is a 30% purse fine for Andre Lima, which I think should be way more, but there you go. Apparently, it is show and win money. There's your scoop from Guilherme Cruz. He is told, this is from Lima's management, is told that both show and win money. So, ouch. I know Lima's not making a lot. I understand. I'm sure we're like, well, how much is 30% of what? Still, man, it's can't feel good. Jose, let's do it. Let me see the graphics. We'll do a rundown here. All right, Jose, we get that graphic up. I will do a rundown. I also do some writing for MMAfighting.com, but we'll get to that in a second. Michael Bass, weigh-in guy for life. Enfant Terrible, he looks drained. Yeah, that was. I don't know if he's drained, but that was a man straight from the sauna. That is the straight from the sauna look. We've all seen it. Oh, sorry, I wanted to ask a question. Jay said, "Who do you think has a better shot of pulling an upset, Dustin against Islam or Bilal against Leon?" Bilal. I think Bilal is so much better than people give him credit for. I know Leon is amazing. I think it's not a 50-50 fight. It's like 70-30 for Leon, but 30 is not a bad number. I'm going like 80-20 for Saturday, or 90-10 even. If you're asking me my pick for Saturday, I think Islam is. I feel very comfortable picking Islam. If I did gamble on MMA, I'd be happy putting $20 on Islam. But I think Bilal has a shot. I think Bilal does have a shot against Leon. He's in really good form right now. I think this is the best version of Bilal we've seen. There you go, guys. All right. Quick rundown before we get out of here. Just a reminder, there will be ceremonial weigh-ins later. You will see the fighters face off. We'll also have a preview show live in a couple of hours, probably around 12:30 Eastern time. For now, here's what we got from the official morning weigh-ins. The lightweight championship main event, Islam Makhachev defending his title against Dustin Poirier. Both fighters on championship weight at 155. Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa, the middleweight co-main, also on championship weight. Both fighters at 185 pounds. Kevin Holland returning to middleweight, perhaps a one-time return, I'm not sure. I would assume he's going back down to 170, but this time he came in 185 for his fight with Michal. Oleksiejczuk also 185. We got heavyweights, not in the main card, guys. Sorry, we got to reshuffle this. I should reshuffle this. Almeida and Romanov are actually on the prelims. Niko Price and Alex Morono, the 2 is on the main card, but I'll read them in order here. Joselyne Almeida, 241. Alexandr Romanov, 265. Randy Brown, 170. Elizeu Zaleski, 170 for the main card opener. Cesar Almeida, 185 for his fight with Roman Kopylov, also 185. Grant Dawson, Joe Solecki, both 155 pounds. Phil Rowe using the extra pound. One of the only fighters who had to, him and Jocelyn Edwards. Phil Rowe, 171, for his fight with Jake Matthews. Niko Price, 170 for his fight with Alex Morono, also 170. Gall, also 170. Bassil Hafez, also 170. So 3 welterweight fights on the prelims. And then Ailin Perez versus Joselyne Edwards. Ailin Perez, 135. Joselyne Edwards having a little bit of a scare at the scale. Don't know why I tried that one live. A scare at the scale. Coming in 137 initially. They brought out the box of redemption. And yes, she was redeemed, coming in 136. And then Mitch Raposo coming in on short notice at 125. And Andre Lima, his opponent, very, very badly blowing weight, coming in at 130. That's 4 pounds over the flyweight limit with the 1 pound allowance for a non-title fight. We are told, it was just announced, that the fight will proceed as scheduled. Lima forfeits 30% of his show and win money. So big hit there for Lima. And again, I will remind people, keep an eye on updates for this card Saturday morning, early Saturday. There's just a very good chance this fight still might not happen, because if you miss weight by that much, I don't know if it's due to illness or something else, but I'm just guessing. Hopefully we have 12 fights on Saturday. Jose, thank you for the live feed. Thank you for the graphics. Thank you for your incredible coverage, which continues on for the next, really for this whole weekend. Any final thoughts for the fans at home?
Stay blessed, everyone.
Stay blessed, everyone. Thank you all again. Preview show coming up at 12:30, and ceremonial weigh-ins, I assume, around 5.
I think 5 or 5:30 sometime.
5 o'clock-ish Eastern time. So tune in for that, guys. And if you're there live, have a great time. We will see. Thank you again for tuning in. You guys are the best, and we will see you again very, very, very soon.